The sky turned orange at 2 p.m. By 2:15, we couldn't see 10 feet in front of us. By 2:30, we were running for our lives through smoke so thick we could taste death in every breath. September 8th, Northern California. 7 friends on what should have been a routine Saturday hike through Redwood Trail. Marcus, the ex-military group leader, his wife Chen, a nurse. Jake and Riley, young couple documenting everything. Kevin, who knew these trails by heart. And Beth and Tom, married 30 years, experienced hikers. 7 people, beautiful weather, and then the wind changed. Marcus checked his weather app, fire warning. But it said the blaze was 12 miles away, contained. What it didn't say was the wind had shifted to 45 miles per hour. That the fire had jumped containment, that it was racing toward them faster than they could run. Chen saw it first, not distant smoke, a wall. Dark, churning, moving through the trees like something alive. Jake, run, Marcus shouted. They ran. Marcus tried his radio, static. He grabbed his phone, one flickering bar. He sent one text to 911 before losing signal. Redwood Trail, fire, 7 people, need help. That was it. No GPS, no confirmation it even sent. The smoke thickened. After noon, some became apocalyptic orange twilight. Visibility dropped to 20 feet. Kevin led them forward. There's a lake 2 miles northeast, Crystal Lake. If we reach it, we can shelter in the water. 2 miles, 40 minutes normally, but Riley was already coughing, her inhaler for miles away at the trailhead. Bev was struggling to keep pace at 62 years old. Then Jake's radio crackled. He'd been trying to reach another hiking group they'd passed earlier. Jake, where are you? The voice was broken, desperate. We're heading to Crystal Lake. Jake shouted back, where are you guys? Static, then a scream, cut off, nothing, the radio went dead. Riley grabbed Jake's arm, her eyes streaming tears. They kept running. The fire wasn't just behind them anymore. It was on both sides, multiple fire fronts surrounding them. Temperature hit 147 degrees. Their skin felt like it was cooking. Chen knew the superheated air was damaging their lungs. Every breath burned. We're not going to make it to the lake. Kevin stopped abruptly. The fire's too fast, but there's a ravine. Leads down to Blackwood Creek. Rocky and dangerous, but the creek bed might give us cover. Tom spoke quietly. That ravine's a 200-foot descent. If we get trapped down there with fire above us, we're dead. Behind them, trees exploded, moisture turning to steam so fast it blew them apart. They had 90 seconds. The ravine, now Marcus made the call. They scrambled over the edge. Not a trail, a controlled fall, sharp rocks tearing skin. Smoke so thick they could only see the person ahead. Bev tumbled 10 feet into a boulder. Her ankle snapped. Tom reached her instantly. Go, I'll carry her. You can't carry her down this, Marcus said. Then we both die. 30 years I've been married to this woman. I'm not leaving her. Kevin moved to Beth's other side. Together, they descended into hell. The ravine was steeper than Kevin remembered. They slid down, grabbing roots and rocks, Beth screaming with every movement of her shattered ankle. Riley's lips turned blue, respiratory distress. Keep her moving, Chen commanded Jake. The only way out is down. Embers rained on them like burning snow. Marcus's jacket caught fire. He rolled in dirt to extinguish it. Then they heard it. Water. Blackwood Creek, usually ankle deep, now barely a trickle in late summer. But it was water, wet, cool, away from direct flames. They reached the creek bed and covered themselves with mud and water. The fire reached the top of the ravine. It looked like a dragon staring down. A wall of orange and red with an unnatural roar. Heat unbearable even 200 feet below. Get in the water, Marcus ordered. They huddled in 3 inches of creek water, covering themselves with wet clothes and mud, pressing their faces to the water. The fire rolled over the ravine like a wave. Temperature spiked. The air itself seemed to ignite. Kevin prayed. Riley went limp in Jake's arms. Chen started CPR right there in the creek in 160-degree heat, with fire raining down. Then the fire moved on, chasing wind, chasing oxygen. They lay motionless for 10 minutes, not believing they'd survived. Finally, Marcus stood, clothes singed, face black with soot. Alive, Riley coughed, opened her eyes, Jake sobbed. They followed the creek downstream for 3 hours until they reached the fire road where emergency crews were staging. 7 people walked out alive. According to every projection, they should have died. The other hiking group, the one Jake radioed, they tried to outrun the fire on the main trail. All 4 didn't make it. The difference was 90 seconds. The decision to take the ravine instead of the trail. Marcus still has nightmares about that choice. Chen still smells smoke sometimes. Kevin never hiked again. But Beth and Tom went back 6 months later. Different trail because they refused to let fear win. The Redwood Trail fire burned 47,000 acres, destroyed 156 homes, took 11 lives. But 7 people survived an impossible moment because they chose, trusted, and ran toward whatever hope they could find. Sometimes in survival, there is no right answer. You just have to choose and run like hell.